Hello and welcome back to the AFL Enjoys podcast. My name is Dean. I'm joined by James Matsa, fellow enjoyer of the AFL and Supercoach.
Very much an enjoyer of Supercoach. It's looking good recently, man.
We're climbing, aren't we?
That's it. Everest is being climbed as we speak. It's very good, man.
We've been saying it and it's true. We're getting there slowly.
That's it. It seems like we've picked the teams the right way. The structures are looking good and we're getting rewarded. So we're doing well for the, we put in the hard yards, Our endeavour is paying off.
That's it. Cream rises to the top as always.
That's it. The cream. The little wrestling reference in there, What was the dude's name? The guy who was in Spider-Man.
What's
his name?
Macho Man.
Macho Man, that's it, man.
Macho
The cream always rises to the top, brother. We should mention that Georgie, he's like the main pod, he was out due to his nose running like Dacos. So he's out for this one as well. So get well soon, Georgie.
Yeah, his nose was leaking more points than my Supercoach rookies were. Get well soon, Georgie. We miss you, mate. We'll see you next week.
You've called my Dacos joke, man. I like it, man. You got me.
All good. Well, I think just by a little bit, I've pipped you boys again this week. I've scored a 2-1-2-4, top 14%. Moved me up almost 5,000 in rank to top 12%. So just a couple of weeks ago, I was top 28, I think.
Yeah, so man's he's climbing that ladder. He's got that Zelda climbing gear, so he's running quick, man.
100%.
So for myself, 2-1-0-1. It's a top 18% score. Overall top 16%. Went up 3.7k ranks. We're getting there, man. We're getting there. It's up 30,000. Let's go, baby.
Oh, mate, we're getting there. And I think George, I don't know his rank, but he scored very similar to us. So 2-1-1-7.
Yeah. Which I think in this round of calamity of, Miller, Oliver, this, that, all these dudes having bad scores and, injuries, I think we were par. If par, maybe above par.
We were a birdie, to be honest.
Yeah. In between a par and a bird.
Okay.
Par and a birdie, if that exists.
We'll make it exist. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll use another bird. What's it called? Breed and create our own.
Well, my trades this week. So what helped me get to that point was I dropped Jinby. His time was up. Cash was starting to stop generating there. Dropped also Mackenzie and Chandler, the one I was upset about, but I had to because I brought in Dawson. Considering how expensive he was, I didn't want to miss out anymore on the big points. I got a bit of FOMO.
Yeah.
So I had to sacrifice Chandler instead of, say, someone else like Baker or something.
Do I say it? Chandler got a high score.
Chandler did get a high score.
Then Dawson.
This week, it hurts, but look, I brought in Dawson. I also brought in Johnson, who proceeded to get 17 and injured.
Oh, man. Him and Roberts.
I got Roberts as well.
Can we just say those...
Actually, Roberts got injured, sorry.
Roberts got injured. Johnson just... He looks good when he gets the ball. He just doesn't get it enough. Those, like, a lot of people brought those two guys in, myself included.
Yeah.
They're the worst two downgrade options in the same week ever. That was painful, man.
It's one of those things, though. Sometimes your team's ready for the downgrade, so you just need to take whoever's ready to change in price. You don't want to go early most of the time. So they were the two available, generally. You had to just sort of bite the bullet and take them. Yeah. And they did show something last week to say, what, I'm pretty happy to downgrade to these guys.
They put their hands up. They put their hands up, man. Some have called them players who are, their price is low because they're on the, they were the sub. Some call it they're on the subble, is what I've seen. That's shout out. I think I saw Lekdog. He did a little tweet about that. So shout out to him.
Shout out Lekdog for sure.
Give him his flowers for that he coining that term. If he did that, I don't know.
Yeah.
He probably stole it from somewhere else. So,
no, I reckon he'd come up with it.
Maybe he's a creative young fella.
But yeah, look, I had a few interesting things happen this week. So I did bring in Stuart last week. So 2 weeks ago now. I've got a few nice scores from Stuart.
You'd be very happy with that. I'm pissed I don't have him in my team, man. Yeah. He's a great player.
So I was happy to get him back in. Obviously the Bont. How good was he on Friday night?
Yeah.
Double ton watch. Didn't quite get there, but geez.
Hey, he had us believing. He had us believing in that double ton for a sec.
He did. I didn't have the VC on him. I instead had put it on English because ever since I traded in English, I've had the VC on him and he's gone 139, 145, 139, 131. So
very reliable.
Reliable boy.
And he did it against Darcy as well. I think that was the test for me. If he had a good week this week, there's no reason to hesitate bringing him in.
Man, imagine being a ruckman, scoring 131 Supercoach, and the other ruckman had 52 hitouts. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, good on him.
So I was pretty happy with that. Obviously, I had Tom Green on the bench because of the suspension, which was really annoying because then I had to field Roberts, who got 19.
Same. See, we got these decent scores having fielded Roberts, man.
I know. It was pretty bleak out there.
Yeah, and Wilmot and Phillips for me.
Yeah. Look, out of the guys that were sort of poddish on my team, I don't think any of them really did anything special. Maybe Stewart is a pod. I don't know if he is. Warple, I held a few weeks ago. He's gotten back-to-back scores of a ton or thereabouts.
That's been a great hold in the end. The Warple hold is huge.
Yeah. And look, one thing I will say, some flowers for Fergus Green. I fielded him 2 weeks in a row just on a limb.
Man, I can't... this is the week where I'm going to field him and he's going to get 30. You watch, man. Because I can't trust forwards, man. But now you have to.
3 70s in a row. So thank you very much, Fergus.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Fergie.
I had Samson Ryan on my bench, unfortunately. I thought Davey would score better on the Anzac Day match. Considering Ryan was coming up against Gorn and Grundy, I thought, no way this kid's going to score well, but well done to him.
That's fair. Flowers for Samson Ryan, man. He's going to give us some cash gen. I'm very happy with that.
100%.
Especially when I don't have Van Rooyen. That hurts, man. When he randomly had that 80, I'm like...
Yeah.
But Samson Ryan lessens the blow, so we'll take it.
And I'm sort of, man, the one guy on my team I just look at shrug of the shoulders is Ridley. This guy, he's averaging 89. He scored an 82 this week. I'm not ruining my structure of trades to fix it yet.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, that's if you can do something, if you can make something good.
But there's other problems. I want to get these rookies off field. I'd rather eat his 80, 90 for a little longer and just deal with the big problems. And I'll deal with him a bit later, but...
Yeah, and then you can there'll be dudes who you can, almost sideways into.
Yeah.
Sicily's not that far off.
Yeah.
80K for extra for Sicily or something, or whatever ends up being,
So the plan is this week, I want to bring in Mitchell and Wagner just for the rookie downgrades.
I like it.
So I'll probably get rid of... What have I done so far? I'm getting rid of McKenna and Wilmot, and then I'm bringing in Cogs for Long.
Nice.
So going... 2 down, 1 up.
Oh, well, there you go. We'll segue to my squad, I think, because you said Cogs. Cogs joined Adventure Tortoise last week.
Hang on a second. I have a question. Bit of an interjection here before you get going. Did you not on the last pod big up your boy and say he's coming in, I'm backing him in? Caleb Sarong, what happened?
What happened with Sarong? I wanted Sarong, as I made very clear on the podcast. However... I actually couldn't afford him anymore because the downgrade option I wanted was Dylan Williams. He got dropped. He ended up being the sub and got 30, whatever. I had to go with Johnson instead, who was trash, right? And because of that, I couldn't afford him anymore. So then I went, all right, next best. It was between Cogs and Sinclair. I'm like, value. I'm picking the value boy, and it helps with my trades this week. So I got Cogs. Cogs got 136.
Big boy score.
Yeah, we scored more than Caleb Sarong. And not that I expect him to do that for the rest of the season. Sarong's going to average 115 at least. Right, he's killing it. But super happy with the Cogs pick. I bought the dip. And now with that a little extra cash that I got, we'll go through the rest of the team, right? So I've VC'd Dawson. No good. Captain Dakes. Went very well. And Nick Dacos, not Josh, by the way. And then the rest of the team, Zeeb's good score. Bont, good score. Josh Kelly, he's rewarded me. Thank you, Josh. He rewarded me. Dunkley 104, Rosie, good score. Cogs, Taranto, and then a bunch of average scores. The drama of the week for me, right, was... There are trades that I'm gonna announce my trades for next week, all right?
Yeah, go for it.
So it was gonna be 2 rookies, or rookie-ish, McKenna and Jones, 1 down to Wagner or Mitchell, and then 1 up to Day, right?
Nice.
Cool. No issues with those trades. The other one, I have Grundy in my team, right? I needed him to at least get 60 so I can do him directly to English, right? He was on 15 at half time and he played 40% game time. I was in panic stations, man.
Oh no.
He ended up with an 81. But look, man, I was scared, man. And I'm gonna sell him at 594, and I got him for 507. Honestly, not worth the trade. I'm gonna just be straight up. That 90K that I got, I could have just had with Darcy.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
you were sort of playing the projection game, and it started off like a good trade. You were quite bang on the first few weeks. You predicted he'd get about what was it, 140,
120. He did that, and then Gaunt came back prematurely.
And that's the thing. Like,
how do you predict that?
AFL players always, they say 4 to 6 weeks. They're back in 3. What's going on here?
I don't know. Maybe it's just to put off other teams and think, kind of right. Oh, we'll write off them. They don't have Gaunt for a while. I don't know what the mindset is.
I personally think it's because the seasons are so short. They just are desperate to play as many games as possible.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Well, but yeah, those are going to be the trades this week, unless something crazy happens. Unless Wagner and Mitchell are both dropped.
So Day and English in, that's nice moves.
Yeah, man. And then at that point, the rookies that I'm fielding end up being Wagner, who should get a 50-60, should be a relatively safe score. Then I have, it's between probably Will Phillips, as long as he keeps his spot. So that's a bit of a touch and go one. And then I got to go Fergus Green or Ryan. So those are the only bad scores that I'm sort of fielding. And then I can slowly get rid of those. Yeah. So yeah, no, very, very pleased. Very pleased with how the team's shaping up,
Nice, man.
The goal will be continuing to get rid of those bad rookie scores on the field, because it's been so unreliable, man. And yeah, especially like the one that killed me was Phillips, man. Like, I was hoping for him to be that 60-70 average for the next 3 weeks and, I don't have to worry, but it just didn't happen. So hopefully keeps his spot. We'll see what happens.
Well, Simpkin's going to be back. It's looking like he might be back this week from a finger issue he had. And I will say, George Wardlaw in North Melbourne's VFL team, he had a nice 23 touches, 6 tackles. He's building.
Look, as a North fan, I want to see Wardlaw in, but for Supercoach,
not at the expense of Phillips though. There's room for both.
I agree. Well, Phillips was playing before Simpkin was out. Like,
Yeah.
At one stage, Greenwood was playing at the same time as well. Like, there's inside midfield minutes for him.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can keep it in, and he's a good user of the footy generally. So we need that right now.
I'm just having a quick look at Georgie's team as well.
Yeah.
So our boy George Sfenda, I'm actually not sure what moves he made in the end, but I do see Jack Sinclair here.
Oh yeah.
So I'm
good pick up.
Thinking he brought him in. He got him a 105. He VC'd Laird and took the captaincy score from him via loophole. Looks like he had on field Wagner and Johnson.
Yeah.
So he avoided... Oh, no, he did have Roberts too. Unfortunate.
Hey, we'll cop that. We'll cop that in one way or another with rookies. Especially, he has Sard as well. So Tom Green, Sard out. That's a bit of tough. You know what? Now that I think about it, with those 2 outs, he had a really good score.
He did well, George.
Going a 2-1 with those 2 guys out.
He's probably feeling overall like...
Now, he'll be feeling horrible about himself. He always look, my Supercoach team shit. always. But we're on our way up.
All 3 of us are on our way up, which is good.
Yeah, that feels good.
I did just want to say, I know we went on about this kid in the main pod, but Nick Dacos, to think there was a time in preseason, and I did stick with him and started him, but there was a time in that first preseason game against Richmond where he was tagged.
And everyone
he scored a 75, something like that. And everyone thought, mate, he's going to get tagged out of games. Don't pick him. To think this guy was 500K only 6 weeks ago. Now he's 644K. His scores are as follows: 129, 149, 109, his lowest score.
Which I captained him in, but doesn't matter.
All
is forgiven.
151, 128, 145. This kid is scoring at Gary Ablett levels, Matsa.
He's playing at Gary Ablett levels. Like, it's not just the Supercoach scores wise. He looks so good on the field, man. Like, just, it's a pleasure to watch. It's a pleasure to have him as captain or vice captain every week, man.
It's unreal. He's 644K now, like I said, averaging 135, showing no signs of scoring below 120 for more than 1 week in a row.
Yeah, and he's got people running with him all the time. Like, you can see that they're trying to, like, even in the Essendon game, 145, every time Stringer and Snelling were around him, they were trying to block his runs. Didn't matter.
Yeah, crazy.
So,
I just had to shout him out.
Yeah, good on you for doing that. I'm happy you did that.
Yeah. Now, in terms of downgrades this week, obviously we like upgrading our team, but we do need to find some rookies that are on the bubble, ready to go.
I think they're quite clear.
Tell us who they are, Matza.
Mr. Wagner, former North Melbourne and former D. I think you got to, if he's still in the squad, I think he's a safe option.
Yeah.
And the other one is Seamus Mitchell.
Seamus Mitchell.
Um,
Who he was on like,
20?
I want to say 20 something at 3/4 time, and he's ended up on 79 somehow, which is a credit to him. But
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried about his job security and scoring potential consistently, but you sort of have to take what's there, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. See, and I went from points price per point right now, and there's a couple of cheeky options actually. I don't like the job security for him, but Ryan Angwin got a 62 in his first game, 123k mid forward for GWS. Sam Simpson, I don't know if he has job security, but a 166, bit expensive, got an 80 in his first game. Ollie Lord 53, probably not. Sam Sturt's on the bubble as well, 123 forward. I reckon he keeps his spot in Freo because they don't have anyone better.
What's he been scoring though?
He got a 62 in the previous week. I can't see, but his average is 49, so he probably got like a 30 or 40 or something.
He got 37 last week, 62 this week.
Yeah, so he's not really an option. I think we got to look at Seamus and Corey Wagner.
Yeah,
And then and they, if you go 2 down, 1 up, I think this is a week to boost because there's 2 prime bubble boys. We're visiting the bubble boy. We're gonna play some Trivial Pursuit with him. you gotta bring in the bubble boys.
Seinfeld reference.
Yep, that's it, man. We don't discriminate against bubble boys. So he's got to, if you can bring in both. I can't because I have to get rid of Grundy and bring in English.
Yep.
I think again, named, pick them.
Yeah.
And then
I think it's nice and easy there. In terms of which rookies are you comfortable trading out? I've got a few guys who...
All of them.
Yeah, look, to be honest, fair.
All of them but Ashcroft.
Yeah, Ashcroft, I think if you're trading him now, your team must be looking pretty good because he's a reliable high 70s average at the moment. And he hasn't really shown a massive ceiling yet, but it wouldn't surprise anybody if he scored a 120.
Yeah, well, he's got a 51 break even, but he only needs one huge score, which could happen this week against Freo. He gets a 90 or an 100, and then the break even drops down, to the low, maybe 20s again or 10s or whatever.
Wouldn't surprise anyone. For the Fergus Green owners, that guy has scored 370s in a row, so sit tight on him for a couple more weeks.
Absolutely.
Oscar Baker, he's pretty reliable 55 to 60 score at the moment.
Yeah.
So
again, don't need a rush to get him out either. But, again, like I think with these guys, even if they go up and have a good score and they go up another 50k, 80k, none of them are going to be keepers. Yeah. None of them.
Of course.
Like the one that was a keeper last year was Dacos, and maybe this year it's Sheasel, and we'll touch on Sheasel. I don't think you get rid of him just yet. Don't panic. His break even is 99. Even if he drops a bit of cash, he's still a reliable field option as long as he plays in the defense.
Well, what I will say is, as a rookie, he got a 53, which compared to the other rookie scores this week would have been one of your better ones.
That's a fair call.
And he was tagged and moved out of defense to the forward line and even like a little bit in the midfield just to try and get involvement. Clarko threw him around a bit, but if you're getting tagged as a rookie getting 53, I don't think there's reason to panic when you're still averaging 102. So.
Yeah, I'm not completely against you trading him out, but I think you'd have to have a pretty good team to be like, I've got to get rid of Shees this week. Yeah. There's no rush,
Well, if
despite
you're getting
the break even.
Yeah, if you're getting rid of Sheasel and then you're fielding like Cowan, for example, Not
worth it.
Not worth it.
Yeah.
Cool. So
upgrades.
Yeah, in terms of upgrades, Matsa, there's a few guys whose prices have fluctuated a little bit. I've eyed off Coniglia for my team. You've said Day because you have Coniglia already.
That's it, man.
Who else are you thinking people might be thinking of upgrading to this week?
People to upgrade. Sinclair is he went down a little bit more. Break even's 117. He'd be a solid pickup if you don't have him already. The other one I was thinking is also, I'm just going to double check his scores quickly.
Sicily, while you're saying that, Sicily is 533 and he's averaging 99, which by his standards is a slow start. But
yeah, break even 111. So look, last week when I brought Cogs in, his break even was like 110. Didn't matter in the end because he got 130. Yeah. So you can't be surprised if Sicily gets a 120. Last year he was crazy. He was so good last year.
He was, yeah.
And even this year, he's had 176, a 91, and a 99. The rest of the scores have been above 100. So I wouldn't hesitate to bring him in if you don't have Day or Cogs. I gotta say, I feel like with Day, I think he's a great pick. I don't think he's an absolute must-have. I actually don't. He's not a foolproof selection. I want to make that completely clear. But when it comes to value and role, it's perfect. It's perfect.
If you believe in what you see from him so far, now's the time to do it.
Exactly. Don't hesitate. You're getting him at 450. He's in a role where he could average between 95 and 105.
Yeah.
Maybe 100, maybe even closer to 110. Who knows?
Can I give a bit of a smoky pick?
Of course.
That a few people that were desperate for a pod recently have floated his name around, but I think there's more of a legit reason to consider him now. Oh. But it is a pod. Noah Anderson. Okay, now this guy is going to be the leading dude there while Took gets better again, which by all accounts will be at least a month. Probably to the buys comfortably.
I think 2 months, man. It's torn meniscus.
Oh, it's a meniscus. Okay,
I'm quite sure it's a relatively long-term injury, man.
So you're thinking post-buy comfortably, this guy's going to be in your team. He's 541. I don't know his break-even, but what I will say is...
It's 113, his break-even.
113, okay. So
you don't need a rush to bring him in. You could give him another week,
if he goes crazy this week, I will consider it if I can afford him.
Well, he's coming up against Richmond. And his last 2 scores, he's only played them twice, and his scores are 154 and 126. That's monstrous.
I just think, when there's a big hole in the team like Took, and he's looked good. I was watching the game against North.
He's an accumulator.
This week. He looked pretty sharp. So, just a little smoky choice there for the people looking for a pod, maybe.
I like that, Dean.
You can consider him.
At 540... At a high-end midfielder. I like him, man.
Yeah. Guys like Brayshaw, I mean, we all know what he's capable of, but he's just not showing it yet, so don't rush.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But he's 526 now, Matsa. This guy's a 600k mid at his best.
Yeah, he is, but I think...
you can't rush on it.
No, you can't. You can't. There's again, with the better options, there's no need to rush into it. His break-even's 136. If you get to 140, pick him up next week and you're happy. But... you don't need to. Why take the risk?
Here's another name for you, actually.
Yeah.
Again, this guy's actually been a bit more consistent even than Anderson this year.
Yep.
Jordan DeGoey.
Yeah.
116 today.
Burnt me last year, big time. But
he's at 534, averaging 111.
Break even's 80, 84.
He's one of those ones where in this new Collingwood midfield, he seems to be getting more and more high possession games, always a goal threat. Gets those kicks inside 50, the clearances, the good stuff. So there's a couple interesting options in there. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. I'm not against picking up the Goey this week. I think the issue with a lot of these guys that we're floating around is that they're this week you got to pick them, but the Cogs you just got to go with.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason not to pick Cogs. I think you look at his scores towards the end of last year. He went crazy. His starting price was 550, right? You would have been happy to... Generally, you would be happy to pay for that. Pay 550 for him now. He wasn't good for the whole year, though. He only started playing well maybe, after a month or 2 in? So his price could be 600k to start the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he played the whole season in the guts.
That's true.
I can't see any reason you go past Cogs. Unless... you have some sort of shocking buy-round structure, but who cares? But just get him. Get him.
I think you have to. You're right. Interesting name as well. Not for this week, but man, he's going to plummet in price. Jack Steele.
Yeah. Oh,
he's
I'm
played
watching him.
3 games this year, 90, 96, and then this week he scored a 54. This guy's going to be below 500k in a few weeks.
I'm absolutely watching him, right? That's, his break-even is 169. I got to say, I got 2 months of, was it 2 months for $1 for the Supercoach Gold? I can't live without this now. Dean, look at Dino struggling like,
You
I
got
don't
all
know what his break even is, but and then for me, I'm just like, his break even's this, his previous score is
His
this.
scoring history is this.
I know, man. No, I feel so pro, man. I can't get rid. I gotta pay up for this stuff, man.
I'm too cheap, man. How much did you say? $2?
I paid $1 for
$1.
2 months, man.
It's too much, man.
Hey, I'll shout you, man. Don't worry.
Good on you, man.
I'll give you $1. Don't worry.
That's actually like you get a lot of information.
Oh, but you know the thing is, you can research this information, but it's right there.
Yeah.
It's so easy. And I'm using my old slow phone right now, and it's still good. It's still like I don't have to go on the internet. It's fantastic, man. Fantastic.
Good stuff. Now,
Bargain hunter.
bargain hunter.
Cogs day, dollar per 2 months. Let's go.
That's it. That's all about the value.
That's it.
Do you have any other names you wanted to bring out there? Otherwise, we'll go through maybe some captaincy options.
Nah, I'm cool. The only thing I'm going to do before we do captaincy options.
Yep.
Our Enjoyers team.
Oh, yes, of course.
The Enjoyers team went out and scored 2-1-3-3.
Outscored all of us.
Yeah, outscored all of us. So it's a top 12 score. Team is in the top 11%. Ranked 20K. Pretty solid. And this week, we're probably going to look to get Cogs in the team. I don't care how many forwards we have in this team. We might have like 7 forwards, but you're just getting Cogs, man. You got to get in all those good value players.
We'll swing some pieces around.
Yeah, Sheasel and Zeeble are in the defense. And then we'll have Rosie. We're going to have like 6 forwards plus Shees and Zeeble in the defense. But I don't care. Because I think the issues with, not the issue, but the team has Charlie Curnow in there. You know, who got a 90. That's pretty good. We'll take that.
Hey, he could be better, but
yeah, I think his price has actually gone up on the year because we picked him up at 460K or 470, and he's at 500. So no complaints there.
no.
Yeah, so that'll probably be the changes there. But yeah, no, enjoy his team. He's going strong. Had Sard out, which is unfortunate. But we still managed pretty strong. Yeah, let's go into some captaincies.
Beautiful. Now, for those of you that are looping, what's his name? Madden.
He's kind of tough this week.
Playing, Saturday 2:10. So before him is
literally one game.
Neil, if you've got him, Dunkley.
But you're going to get 20 minutes of Neil.
Oh, right. Yeah, no,
it's
sorry.
Honestly, it's only one game.
So the Saints
So let's just hope that Constable is still out. As odd as that sounds. Hopefully he's still out and he's not an emergency, so we don't have to worry about him being a possible sub. And you can just go the whole week.
But I agree for VC reasons, but I would love if Constable was back in the team, not as an emergency.
Same. We need the cash gen. The cash gen, like, I don't want to wish an injury on someone, but like, come on, man.
I think I'm comfortable just going a straight captaincy on English or Dacos. If Constable's named, I'll be happy.
I shouldn't be nervous about Dacos anymore. I just shouldn't be nervous about Dacos. Adelaide have Keys who likes to... But Keys is too slow. He can't run with Dacos.
Until we see it, we can't expect it.
Yeah. No, fair call. Fair call.
His lowest score this year is 109. Come on. I don't know. I think... As always, English is an option for me. They're playing the Hawks at Marvel.
And I'm bringing in English this week.
Yeah.
So I think I finally have a really easy VC to see. Don't have to think about it too much.
A lot of people will probably go Bont against the Hawks, and I wouldn't blame you, but English has been my boy ever since I brought him in. He's getting 130s. I like just locking that in.
Yeah, fair enough. Bont, again, if you don't have English, Bont's a very good option.
If you're a Clary owner, they're playing North.
Yeah.
I know we said that actually about Miller. I said on this pod last week, if you've got
put him a straight C.
I said if you've got Took, put the VC on him.
I think you said put the C on him. You went deep, man. You went hard.
It's all a blur, but this week I promise Clary will kill North.
Anyone who took that advice, apologies on Dino's behalf. Clary's a fair one. I don't really know other than that, man. Like, I don't really trust a hell of a lot of other people.
Anyone that has Neil against Freo might be a good shout as well.
Yeah, bounce back game. Because there's no thing is Adelaide, the Dawson option's gone because you're going to go Dacos over Dawson.
Yeah, you'd think so. Even Laird.
The D brothers.
Would you go Laird against the Collingwood midfield? Because they don't tag anybody.
But in saying that, there's less contested ball with Collingwood. You know what I mean? I feel like
It's a shame 3 of my captaincy options are playing in the same game, to be honest. But
I know. He's got to pick the right one on the day, which is going to be Dakes.
I think Dakes, he's averaging the most, right? So wouldn't that be the logical choice, I guess?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, we've... There's not too much... there's not really anything else to go on in regards to captaincy. It's this is a good Supercoach week. It's Friday to Sunday. How nice is that? I know it's not good for the viewing experience because, it's nice to have a Thursday game, but for Supercoach, this is fantastic.
No more teams getting announced every day.
Man, the Collingwood game was so... The Collingwood game. The Anzac Day game, right? It was so late, man. They released the full squads on Monday, 5 or 6 o'clock. That's way too late.
Ridiculous.
They do teams like 2 days in advance for every other game. Except for that one for some reason.
Did they explain why it was late? I never saw anything.
No, what? The AFL don't explain anything, man. Well, they just do stuff. Anyway.
What a shame. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thankfully, our scores weren't affected by that.
Nah. The boys were ready to go and we killed it. So
that's it, man. And I'm sure George will be ready to go to kill it next week as well. Get better again, Georgie.
That's it, man.
Otherwise, thanks for watching. You can, give us a comment. What trades you're considering? We haven't had a comment in a while, and we did give good advice. So
last time we gave advice on Supercoach, it was pretty good. So let us know if you have any needs for your team. I think we've said it all. I think we've given you the downgrade options, we've given you the upgrade options. I think you're well equipped. So
that's it.
Good luck with your trades this week. Good luck with your scores this week and captains and VCs.
That's right. Yeah, give the video a like and sub. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, YouTube.
Yeah.
We're on everything. Just give us a like on all those.
That's it. And we promise to start getting more active on some of them.
If you like and sub, we'll participate.
That's it, man. I need some positive reinforcement. Come on.
That's it. Come on. Get around the boys. All right. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
See ya.